Today's video is going to be about why you being original is essential to the world around you. Why? It's because you've been fooled to think that you have nothing to offer the world, which is absolutely ludicrous. And I know what happens. You log into your Instagram, you open it up, and you see all of these different people that you follow. And they're doing this, they're on vacation, they're like in Bali, buying like 5-cent beers. They're doing all these things, right? And what are you doing? You're probably going to work, trying to sort your own self out. And what does this really do for you? That's the question that I started asking myself. What does looking at these things on a daily basis do for me and my mental health? I'm sure you know what's coming next. It's the killer of comparison, right? Because what happens when you look at somebody else's feed and they're doing private jets, they're doing jet skis, they seem to like water sports, whatever it is, but that's making you feel bad. Why? Why is that? And it's because you are doing this. Okay, well, they're doing all that, and this is what I'm doing. And you're taking it at face value, which is the trap. That's the trap. Don't take anything online as face value, because that will lead you down a very dark path. And it's a path that involves you beating the shit out of yourself every day, totally unnecessarily. For me, I grew up in Louisiana, and I moved my entire life across the country to California, and let me tell you, I was not prepared. I was not prepared for the competition. I was not I'm gonna get this. I wasn't prepared for the competition. I wasn't prepared for the comparisons that I was going to be making every single day. And it's something that starts small. You don't even realize that it's happening. You don't even realize that you're thinking these things to yourself. But you are. Monitor your thoughts when you're on social media. Think to yourself, do I really want to be looking at this? Is this something that when I follow these people, they bring me up? When I follow these people, I get good information. I get information that is thought-provoking. I get information that pushes me to think differently. Is that what you're looking at when you log on to your social media? Now, it's one thing to have your friends and this and that. That's okay. But also you have to realize that at a certain point, those friends, if they're not providing you any benefit and they're essentially wasting your time, maybe they're not worth following. And that really should be what you're doing. Try to curate the information that comes into your brain. Because guess what? You're made up of all these little pieces of information. And guess what? If it's a bunch of pieces of trash, that's what's going to come out. But if it's a bunch of pieces of information that are insightful, that cause people to think and cause people to stop for a moment and observe the world around them, that's the information that you really want. Because that way your time is utilized on social media. Your time can be either wasted or used for constructive purposes. Now, most of the time, it's just cars and, trips and celebrities and this and that and all these people, and you're comparing yourself to them, but you don't realize you're comparing your chapter 1 to their chapter 10, right? And that's a quote that I've heard before that is only truer as I grow up, as I get older, and as I evolve. That quote remains a staple for me. Because it's true, you do not see everything that goes into that. 1, you don't see the behind the scenes. And 2, you don't see all of the things that they went through to get to that point. They could have been sleeping on a couch for 10 years with no savings, no income, no nothing. But you didn't see that. And they persisted. And because they persisted, they were rewarded. Now, why would that make you feel bad if you think about this logically, right? Because normally what you do is some sort of like mental gymnastics, right? To make yourself feel better about where you are, right? Oh, that person, they must have mommy, daddy money. They must have won it. They must have gotten lucky or come from a nice home and just been given everything. It's nice to think that. At least that's what you're telling yourself. But in all actuality, what you're doing is you're justifying where you're But in all actuality, what you're doing is justifying where you're at and discounting where they're at. That's not how it should work. That's not how it should work. And if you hold on for just one moment, I'm sweating. So this is how it worked for me. I would open up my Instagram and I would brace myself. I would have to have a mental preparation for what I might see. I might see a friend of mine who is succeeding in a certain area of life that I may be struggling at, right? And I have to prepare myself for that because at the time, I was not mentally equipped to be okay with myself and to love myself and to love the process, which is what I'm doing now. There's that quote that everyone tells you. Everyone tells you this. There will always be someone prettier than you, someone more successful than you, someone with bigger muscles than you. There'll always be someone like that. That is the dumbest quote that I have heard in a very long time. What that quote is essentially doing is comparing you to a fictitious person, a hypothetical person that doesn't exist, who may or may not be prettier than you, even though these things are subjective, right? Your definition of beauty is totally different than mine. So how could we possibly compare? And that's what I'm asking you. What is your definition of success? Because one of the quotes that I really love is by a man named Al Goldstein. The true success is a person that has invented himself. I'm going to put that down below, and I want you to pause the video, and I want you to read over it, and I want you to really think about what that means. Not in general what that means to you. How does that relate to you and your situation? I'm going to pause now. The thing that I take away from that is it's about living a life that's true to yourself. That's really what it boils down to. And the issue with that is that most people don't know themselves. It sounds like a very meta thing to say, but it's very true. Most people don't know themselves, and I will show you a couple examples of why I believe this. So, for instance, right, say I'm going to a restaurant, I'm super excited, I've been wanting to do this for a while, I'm with my girlfriend, we go, I'm looking up stuff online, I'm like, oh, okay, people like this dish got good reviews, and I get to the restaurant, looking at the menu, in my head, I see something, I'm like, oh, that looks good, right? Initially, that looks good. First thought, right? And what happens after that? I ask the person I'm with, what are you looking at? What do you think looks good? What do you think looks good? And then it's just like this back and forth of you two asking each other questions. What do you think? Well, I like this. And oh yeah, maybe this. But all the while, you're ignoring that initial voice. The one that was like, this is good, we want this. And then flooded in all the questions. Well, what does everybody else get? Blah, blah, blah. And that's the other question, right? The waiter comes up. You're like, hi, how are you? Good, great. You've had the menu for 20 minutes, still don't know what the hell you want to order. Happens all the time, right? Hi, yeah, you ready? You can go. That's right, because I'm going to make a decision in like 3 seconds. Okay. And the pressure is on you, right? And what that does is that just makes you uncomfortable, right? So they say what they want. I'll have the ham hock, please. That sounds great, right? And it comes to you, and you're like, what does everyone else get? What's popular here? Right? What's popular here? Because I don't want to think for myself. I don't want to form my own opinion about all these dishes that are on the menu, about my own experiences that I've had eating things similar to this that I may or may not have something to pull from, that I can make my own decision. How often does that happen? As someone who worked in the service industry for a while, it doesn't happen all that often. It's very much a conversation. Same thing. Okay, another example. Clothing, right? You and your friend go out shopping. Yeah, let's do it. We're going shopping. Stacks, right? You get to the store, you're looking at all the stuff. You see something catches your eye. Oh, what's this? Pull it out. And the first thought you have is, hey, do you like this? Think about that. The first thing that you do is question somebody else whether or not they like what you picked up. You picked it up for some reason. Something in your head was like, dude, that's cool. I like that. And then what happened after that? All of these questions, right? Oh, well, what do I think about people that wear this? Or what would they think about me if I was wearing this? And when you ask someone what they think, they're doing the same thing. So you realize there is just this domino effect of other people's opinions. There are no original opinions that happen in a conversation like that. And once you realize that, you start to monitor that. You realize, like, oh, wait, I need to be asking myself whether or not I like something. And if they don't, fuck them, right? Because at the end of the day, you have to wear it. At the end of the day, you are representing yourself. And you can either do it truly, you can do it with things that really appeal to you, that for some reason or another, when you put this jacket on, you're just like, yeah, this feels good, right? And that's really the question, at least for me, that I've been asking myself. Does this jacket, shirt, do these jeans, do they make me feel good? Because if you feel good, then you're gonna look good. And I know you've heard that quote before. And it's very, very true. Because guess what? If you put on an entire outfit, right? Imagine wearing an outfit where every single piece that you're wearing, you picked out without anyone else's opinion, solely for your own opinion. And because it made you feel good, and you put on a whole outfit, I'm talking accessories, a hat, this and that. It's like putting on a suit of armor. You literally feel so good about yourself. Not only because it's exactly what you want to be wearing, but also because you did it. No one else can discount that. That is your taste and your opinion. And I challenge you, next time you go out shopping, go by yourself. And if you see something and you like it, or you see something, ask yourself honestly, do I like this? And here's the other part. Listen. You have to listen to yourself. Not everybody else, not what's on Instagram, not what the hype beasts are doing, none of that. Because guess what? None of that matters. The only thing that matters is how you feel about it and how it makes you feel. So, in conclusion, you can see how comparing yourself and constantly relying on the opinions of other people can drown out your own opinion, can drown out your own personality and your own unique style, which you cannot have by listening to everyone else. I'm gonna wrap this up, and I really wanted to make this video because I recently have gone through this, an entire wardrobe. I would look in it and I would never see anything that inspired me. I would never see clothes in my closet that I was like, I wanna wear that. After a while, that gets to you. It really does. And so after many months, after years of wearing things that didn't inspire me, that didn't really appeal to me, I just said, screw it. I'm going to buy things that bring me joy. Thanks, Marie Kondo. And that's what I want you to do. Next time you go shopping, next time you go to a restaurant, ask yourself what looks good to you, and then buy it. Thanks so much for watching my video. If you like the things that we talked about, please hit the subscribe button. If you have anything to say, add, comment, questions, concerns, whatever, put it down in the comments below. I'm very much looking forward to what you have to say. Thanks, guys. I'll see you on the next one.